Hi, Miss Lori.
Hey Tristan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
May I have co-host? Oh, thank you.
Hey Azariah
Hello.
and Lisbeth.
Holy moly, there's a
What's up, Denise?
my bad. Sorry. Spider. Sorry.
Are we getting any enrollment forms from the Hi, Miss Lori. Uh-oh.
Hello, Mrs. Elliser.
Okay, I thought did you hear me earlier?
I was letting people in and I couldn't get down to unmute my mic fast enough.
So if she's done half eligible.
Hello, everybody out there. I see some familiar faces. It's good to see you again. Oh, goodness. No response. That makes me sad.
Hi, Miss Bonnie.
Everybody's in
Ew.
shock.
Hello. All right, guys. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Ready or
please,
not,
Miss
here we
Bonnie.
go. Hi, Miss Catherine. Oh, it's good to see everybody. Good.
I'm going to give it just another minute or two because we've still got people coming in. So give it 1 minute and then we'll start. Let's see, I'm going to silence the doorbell. And then I've tried to make all of the teachers co-hosts, so if you all can let people in as they come in, please kind of watch that. I've turned the doorbell off, so hopefully it will be less disruptive.
Yeah, I've been letting people in too.
Thank you, Tristan. Yeah, and some of the students I have also made co-host. Okay. Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time zone you are in. We are so excited to be back for another year, and it's always fun to see those faces that we recognize, but we've got some new ones this year, and we would just like to welcome you to our brand new year. We're very excited. It's going to be a great year. And this afternoon, as we get started, let's begin with prayer. Bow your heads. Dear Father, we are so excited about this new year. I'm so excited to see all of these bright, shining faces here, and we look forward to this year. We ask your blessing on our new year, ask you to bless these students' minds and the teachers and parents and all of the families that are here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. So we are going to begin. I'm going to have the teachers introduce themselves. And then Mrs. Velez is going to do a presentation. Mrs. Elliser is going to do a presentation. And then you're going to hear from me again. And then following that, Mrs. Miranda, if any of you are in high school Bible, juniors or seniors taking English 3, U.S. history, government or economics, she wants to meet with you separately and do her own little orientation. So you all are ready to go on Tuesday. And then at the same time, we're going to have a student-led orientation that will be meeting in a breakout room. So for all of you new students, some of the students that have been here for a few years are going to meet with you and tell you how it really is. So they will let you know if all the things that happen here, okay? So that's kind of going to be the order of events. So right now, we're going to start with the teachers. And Mrs. Velez, we're going to start with you. So I'd just like for the teachers to introduce themselves and then tell what you teach, whatever else you want to add.
All right. Well, as I said, I'm very excited to see all these familiar faces, and I'm excited to meet new people too. I am a teacher that tests out as concrete random. I'm not sure what that means, but I think that means that it's not just like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like there's a little surprise, but I will tell you for sure that I absolutely LOVE all my students, every single one of them, every single year. So you can get a hold of me if you need more help, all those kinds of things. I teach IPC, Integrated Physics and Chemistry, biology, that's one of my very favorites. Chemistry, that's another of my favorites, and physics as well. I teach 8th grade science also, and sometimes some other things, but that's what I'll be teaching you all this year. So I'm ready.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Elliser, I didn't realize I was muted. Oh.
Did you want me to introduce myself? Or...
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Catherine Elliser. I am teaching this year music. Let's start from middle school. It's music, everything music. So music appreciation, and I think this year we're continuing piano from last year. For high school, I'll be teaching music appreciation and piano from last year. I'll team teach chemistry one day with Miss Bonnie. I do the Thursday classes, and Miss Bonnie does Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And one more. I teach homeroom for 11th grade. That's where we practice our leadership skills, get to know our batchmates better, and interact with each other. Sometimes you get help from you get homework help sometimes, because I don't know how they're gonna run it this year, but last year they ran it where they had the student of the week, and the student of the week picked what activity they wanted to do. And sometimes the student of the week picked, we want to do homework today. And so they did homework, and if it was English, I could help them. Some math, I could, but if it gets too hard, then I won't. But if I can help you, I will help you. And second semester, I'll be teaching speech Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Thank you, Mrs. Elliser. Mrs. Owens.
Hi, hi everyone. I'm so excited to see you all. It's been a very, very long 3 months for me. I didn't get to see you and teach you math. I'll be teaching high school math. And if you want to know the subjects, I'll be teaching Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and Pre-Cal. And you can call me Miss Jasper or Mrs. Owens. And I'm so excited to see you in just a week.
Thank you. And Mrs. Miller. We like to surprise you.
She needs.
Okay.
I'm never ready. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay, sorry. I'm Mrs. Miller. Oh my goodness. I just got so excited as I saw faces here. One, I got to see you guys at Gillette and I was like, yeah. And so now I'm seeing your faces again, and it just makes my day. Actually, it's going to make my whole school year. But anyway, this year I'm going to be teaching language arts again. A lot of classes this year. I'll have 9th and 10th as far as high school, and also some middle school and a homeroom. But I am so excited to get started with you guys this year. So see you soon.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Fuller.
Hello, everyone. I too am happy to see you all today. It's just really good to see your faces. So I am Mrs. Fuller, and I will be teaching English 1 and English 3 this year. I also have some elementary and middle school classes, reading and grammar, 6th grade, and even 5 language arts. But anyway, the parts that pertain to you will be the English, and even, I believe I'm still down for algebra. So I may see some of you there, and possibly life skills. So anyway, good to see you. Have a great one. Great school year for us.
Thank you. And Miss Maston. Mrs. Maston is brand new with us this year. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Maston, so I am happy to join your team this year. So I'll be teaching math. Not sure yet what level.
Yes.
So I'm brand new. So I'm excited to join this wonderful team. So can't wait to start next week.
Thank
so
you.
I've had 23 years of experience teaching. So I've taught quite a few classes. So
Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Bartholomew.
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Bartholomew, and I will be teaching finance this year. So I'm excited to teach you how to budget and so forth. So I'm excited about teaching that class this year. So welcome to Sycamore for those who are new. And I'm looking forward to the students that I've taught in the past. And I've been teaching at Sycamore for about 4 years already, or going on 4 years, something like that. Anyway, so it's nice to see everybody today.
Thank you, Mrs. Pettibone. Now, I'm going to interrupt for a second. We offer 3 languages. You can take American Sign Language, German, and Spanish. And so it's a great opportunity to add to your linguistic skills. So go ahead.
Yes. Guten Tag. Mein Name ist Frau Pettibone. So my students call me Frau Pettibone. That's Mrs. Pettibone in English. So Frau is not my first name. It's just the word for Mrs. In German. I teach German at Sycamore. I'm going into my 3rd year of teaching. I've mostly taught high school German, but I might be even teaching elementary this year. We'll see. So if you are in anywhere in high school, any high school grade, I recommend jump into a foreign language. because it's not going to get easier. The earlier you start, the easier it's going to get. You know, you guys are getting old. And your brains are getting older, which makes it harder to learn a new language. So even if you're ninth grade and you haven't signed up for a foreign language, do so. I recommend, you know, any of the languages that we offer. So if German is not your jam, then Spanish will be great. And I would say even do both. You know, start with one language and then add another one in. That is a great opportunity to learn a language, of course, but also about a culture, about a different part of the world. And it will also help you, you know, if you're looking for job opportunities later on. The more languages you have on your you know, during your school, either high school or college, the better off you will be, the easier it will be to get a job. Yeah, come and see me this year. And I'm looking forward to an exciting year with you guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Pettibone and Mrs. Hall. You're muted.
It's so good to see so many of you that I've taught in the past, and I'm looking forward to my ninth grade world geography class this year. That's what I will be teaching. And it's my hope that you will grow to absolutely love geography because we just study all aspects of it. We go from the culture, food, everything. And I think you will really enjoy it. And by the end of the year, I feel like you will feel you have become a seasoned world traveler, whether you've traveled the world or not. And I'm really looking forward to starting our journey together next week.
Thank you, Mrs. Hall. Mrs. Norwood. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Miss Norwood. You can call me Miss Norwood or Miss Angela. I'm fine with either one. This will be my first year teaching at Sycamore for high school, and I'm teaching the American Sign Language. I will introduce you to what it's like to be deaf, hard of hearing, all the different aspects that go along with the culture and the language, all the intricacies of it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I saw a few of you that I had during the summer, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. All right.
Thank you. And Mr. Borges.
Yes, hello everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Malin Bourget and I'm brand new to the platform. I'm really excited to be here. And this semester I'm going to be teaching 9th and 10th grade Bible, as well as 11th and 12th grade history. I'm a big history fan. I love theology. My background is actually in science. So if you do have any questions on that, time permitting, I'd love to take those, biology, chemistry, whatever. But this semester, I'm glad to meet everybody and I'm excited to get going and get started. And I want to make history, especially history and both the Bible, really come alive, not just learning facts, but also understanding what happened, why it happened, and how it's relevant to us.
Thank you. Mrs. Vargas. There she is.
Okay. Hola, chicos. My name is Grisel Vargas, and I teach Spanish. Welcome to the new semester. We're going to be learning in this semester. Well, we're going to be listening to songs. We're going to listen to stories, discuss our lives. We're going to play games, explore Spanish speaking cultures. To summarize, we're going to have fun in class and you will practice and learn Spanish while we are doing this. I know that learning a language can be challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. So I'm here to support you every step of the way. Hope to see you in one of my classes and God bless you this semester. Gracias.
Thank you. Did I miss any? Did I miss any teachers? I've been scanning through here and I didn't mean to miss anybody. So if I didn't, Mrs. Velez, we're going to turn it over to you. And let me find.
You're muted, Miss Velez.
Sorry about that. I have to say, Mrs. Norwood and Mrs. Pettibone, I would love to take your classes. And Mrs. Vargas, ya yo hablo español un poco, entonces no me necesita español como nosotros. So yeah, I love languages. She's right, by the way, you guys. Jump on board with the language thing. It will serve you well. All right, all of that aside. Here we go, sharing screen. All right. So, Zoom etiquette and tips and stuff. So, as far as Zoom etiquette, it's important. We're not in a classroom where we're sitting at desks and all in the same room. It's different. So, if this is not your first go round, you already know that. But if this is your first go round, you don't. And even if you have been here before, this is a good reminder. Only one person talks at a time. That's just fair, right? Whether you're in a brick and mortar school in a room all together, or whether you're, because if everybody talks at the same time, oh my word, it's chaos. It's kind of like the Tower of Babel. We don't need that. We need to understand each other. Dress for school. I watched a video. It was a girl and she said, you know what? I go to online school and I dress in my cutest outfits. And I thought, what a good idea. Why not? If you were going to go to your job, you probably wouldn't wear your pajamas. If you were going to be a banker, you might dress in a suit, or a pastor, you might dress in a suit. Or if you're going to be a businessman, you might dress in a suit, or at least a nice polo shirt or something if you're a guy, and a nice dress or something if you're a woman. The way you dress affects the way you feel. Have you noticed that? If you're dressing in your pajamas, that says, ugh, yeah, we don't want that, right? We want to dress for success. Make sure your device is charged. I worked for a company called VIP Kid, and I watched a lot of videos about how to teach online. And one of the best ones that I ever saw was that the first thing that this teacher did was plug in their device and get it up and running. Because without your computer being charged and ready and not updating or not, oh no, my connection is gone, I need to reboot or whatever when it's time for class. A while before class starts, your first class starts, make sure that it's charged, make sure it's up and running, make sure that your internet connection is good. And if you have the ability to take this little thing and get a hotspot, that's a really good idea, because even if you lose internet connectivity, you can go on hotspot. Stay in your seat and pay attention to the teacher. Now, I don't mean that you have to be sitting necessarily. If you're a high energy person, it's okay. I like to stand up when I'm teaching sometimes, but I'm still right here and I'm still engaged. If I have to bounce a little bit, I can bounce, but I'm paying attention. So the whole idea is be there, be engaged, be paying attention. Don't be watching the television that's beside you. In fact, don't sit beside a television that's on. Don't be playing games on your phone or chatting with someone on your phone or anything else on your phone. Put your phone somewhere over in another country for class time, okay? Be ready to learn. It's an attitude, right? Right now, your job is school. And even if you don't like it, it's your job right now because you have a choice. You can either work hard now do what you need to do in school or work hard later. That's really kind of true. Think about that for a minute. If you get a good degree and you work smart, you can make good money and talk to God about what he wants you to do. Get ready for it. The lady that raised me said something that was really important that I actually listened to. She said, learn everything that you can in school because you never know when you might need it. And oh, was she right. Sitting where I'm sitting now, I can see that. And I did take her advice. I took every class in my high school except for choir and auto shop. And I would have taken those if I'd had time. Just do, learn whatever is in front. And that's what the Bible says anyway, right? Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. Do your best. And if your best turns out to be a C, that's okay. Just do your best and have fun, because it can be if you let it be. It's an attitude. Away we go. So what do you do to be successful in school? Find a quiet space where you will not be distracted. If you have a bedroom, that's yours and you can close the door and everybody else in the house is over there and it's nice and quiet, that's great. If you have to go to the basement and find a corner. Sometimes people might live in an apartment or something where it's a small space. And it's kind of crazy. I had a student last year and he would go to the hallway to have class because it was the only quiet place he could find. But it worked because he wasn't having to sit next to brothers and sisters and television and crazy stuff. Remove all the temptations. We already talked about that, like your phone and your television and whatever else. Be in class for your first class from 1 to 5 minutes early to be sure your computer works well and that you're punctual. Being on time for your first class means being on time for the rest of your classes. And if you're new to Zoom and new to computer kinds of stuff, make sure that your lighting is in front of you and above you. So in front of and above you. Because if it's behind you, you will look like this poor lady. You'll be a shadow person. I can't even tell for sure that that's a person. I guess if I use my imagination, I can a little bit. Exactly the same person as over here. But you'd never know what she looked like. Why? Because she's being lit from behind. She's sitting in front of a window and her light is coming from behind her. In the other picture, over here, her light is coming from in front of her and from above. Now, let me say a word about the above thing. Did you ever take a flashlight at night and put it under your chin and it lights you from the bottom and you get all these weird, creepy shadows? Like sometimes if you're on a Pathfinder outing or something and you're having fun and you want it to be a little bit creepy or whatever. Yeah, well, that's kind of what it looks like if your light comes from under you. It's not becoming, for real. You want to look good, right? So I have the best of both worlds. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. There. No, not there. All right. My camera is running around the ceiling trying to find the light. There it is. There's a light on the ceiling for me, and I have a window right next to me. Natural light is the very best. If you can't do that, it's not a great big problem because they sell these little things called ring lights. Now, Mr. Josh, Josue Velez, over there, that's my youngest son. He does have a window behind him, which we kind of close the curtains and the screens and maybe put a couple pillows behind to block the light from behind him. And he's got a ring light in front of him. $15 for the cheap ones. Josh's actually cost $4 at a bin store. And it works just fine. So they don't have to be expensive, but ring lights will help you out. Please, please use your first and last names on your screen. Because not all of us know your name. And even if we do know your name, I don't know about you all, but I am auditory, but I'm visual as well. So I'm probably going to call you whatever you put on your screen. And if what it says on your screen is your brother or sister's name, I'm going to call you that. Please put your first and last name on your screen. Also, that lets us know who's coming to class. And that can be kind of a big deal because we don't usually let people that we don't know who they are into class. Keep your camera on at all times. Oh my word. Please. In my class, it's the first thing that I say if somebody's camera is off. I don't want to see this. It's a little distracting if I'm talking to the top of your head. I don't want to see this because I can't tell if you're having an aha moment. If I'm teaching, I don't know, something in physics and it's a tough concept and I say, do you understand? I can tell by your expression. Teachers can do that. Did you know that? If you're going like, you don't have it. But if you're going like, then I know you have it. You have an aha moment. Teachers need to see that, and we need to be able to see your eyes. I don't know how other teachers feel. I am not a favor of different kinds of heads and things because, again, I want to see your aha moments. I want to know that you're there. I want to know that you're paying attention. All right. Also, sit for success. So, sitting on the floor, sitting in an maybe inappropriate manner, and please, ladies, be respectful with your dress. We don't want to distract the young men in class with your beauty. So stay covered, like shoulders and so forth. And yep, that's a very conservative, old-fashioned viewpoint, but yeah, but it's a good thing. It's less distracting. Put your thumbnail pictures right under your camera. Why? Because we're not in the room all together. I can't just look at you and know that you're paying attention. I have to see your eyes. And if I take my pictures, here are my thumbnail pictures. They were under my camera. Now they are on the bottom. I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at Malin Borghi. I'm looking at Blanca Casas. I'm looking at Mrs. Hall and Miss Lori and Mr. Josh. And I can see you all, but it doesn't look like I'm even paying any attention to you because I'm looking down. Now I'm looking at myself and Mr. Borghi and Miss Casas and Mrs. Hall and Miss Lori and Mr. Josh, and it looks like I'm looking at you because the thumbnails are under your camera. It does make a difference. Be engaged. Be engaged. Again, this is your job right now. You're becoming sharp tools in God's toolbox. So make sure that you are doing whatever you can do to stay engaged. And I get it. It is not the same as being in a classroom with a teacher. But think about it. You can be engaged with videos online. Why not with people? Make sure your camera is slightly above you. Otherwise, you might look like this. And that's a little distracting. Or you might look like this, and that's a little distracting. But we want to see this part of you. We want to see your face. Because, again, you're present for everybody that way. Sycamore Academy is a Christian school. So please avoid things that are not Christian. Things like weapons, maybe skull and crossbones, things that Jesus would be proud of. Those are the things that you want to bring to class and wear. Be kind, courteous, and helpful to everybody in class. Raise your hand if you have a question. And I like it when students raise their virtual hand, because that stays up there for a while. If I say, if you understand, raise your hand or give me a thumbs up, you can do like this and then it'll be done. But if you give me a virtual thumbs up, it's going to stay there for a little bit longer. It just helps the teacher. And every teacher might be a little bit different on that one. You'll have to ask your individual teachers what they prefer. Some teachers allow chats, some do not. I allow chats if they stay on topic. The minute that they get off topic and start talking about other things, then I shut them down, because it's not there for being, for asking what people are going to do after class, or it's there to be able to communicate. If somebody has a question, you can put it in the chat. If somebody has the ability to help somebody else, they can put that in the chat. Keeping it on topic is important. Waiting till others are done talking again and speaking then is a good example as well. Stay muted when you first get to class if there is another class already in the room. That's important. Let's say that there's a very important Bible topic being discussed. You don't want to turn on your camera and say, "Hey, everybody," and disrupt, right? And actually, I think that students at Sycamore are very good when they come to class at leaving their cameras off. It's the only moment that I really like cameras to be off if you're not in class yet, and stay muted until your class begins, and then it's your turn. Backgrounds. Oh, I love backgrounds. So again, when I worked with VIP Kid, it was required. It was required to have a headset, which is very helpful, especially if you're learning a language. You had to have an auxiliary camera, not just the camera on your computer. And you had to have a background. These are some examples that you see on the screen here. There are virtual backgrounds that are quite nice, but it's just kind of fun to have your own background. I make my backgrounds kind of broad so that I can change them up from place to place if I feel like it. And I try to change the seasons, and I try to let it reflect what we're going to do in class. So in my background, the class rules are there. Our memory verse for the year is there. This is a points chart for high school. Once you have 50 points, you get a very special day, something that the class has agreed on, and so forth. And of course, Jesus front and center. So if you feel like making a background, it's a lot of fun. It helps you feel like you're in the mood for school. Sometimes students decorate their entire room to come to class, and that's kind of cool too. Do your best and have fun. Have fun, because Sycamore Academy is fun. So to review Zoom expectations, be on time, be respectful, use mute when not speaking, raise your hand to speak, find a quiet, appropriate workspace, use your name first and last when logging in, use the chat feature when given permission by your teacher, keep your face in full view, demonstrate core values. And what would those be? Respect, friendship, empathy, honesty, responsibility, perseverance. I kind of distilled that for my class. My camera is stuck. If you can see it well. Be prompt, be prepared, be respectful, be engaged, and be honest. And if you're questioning about what you should or shouldn't do, you can say, what would Jesus do? And you can also say, would my parents be proud of me right now and the choices that I'm making? If the answer is yes, go for it. If the answer is no, then rethink that. All right. Now, this is the and stuff. That was the Zoom etiquette. Please get an assignment book or planner. I don't care if it's digital or analog. If you don't have one, find something and bring it to class on Tuesday. You can make one if you want to take a screenshot right now. There's a website for getting a free planner. Some way of keeping track of your assignments. It is not a good idea to wait until you have zeros to figure out what you're missing. Because if you do that in my classes, it's already too late. You won't get full credit that way for sure, and you might not get any depending on how much time has elapsed. This is something that I think Miss Catherine is also going to cover, but I'm just gonna say it once because there's a little green check that Bright Thinker gives you if you just open an assignment. And it means nothing except that you've opened that assignment. A lot of times students will see that green check and they'll think, oh, it's all done. I've got it in. It's great. But that's not true. What you want to do is go to the landing page, click on that little bar graph icon, and that will tell you what is done and what is not done. If it is done and not graded, it'll be a page that has a dog ear on it, and you'll know that it's in there. If it's already been graded, then your score will be there. If it has a little talk box like that, there are teacher instructions or comments on it. So please, if you want to know if your things have been turned in, go to that little bar graph icon. If your internet is bad or the teacher's is, or both of them are at the moment you're submitting, there's a possibility that it might not come through even though you've submitted it. So please check it out. Make sure that it's in there after you've submitted. Oh, something's stuck. Is not advancing. I'm not sure why. All right, that's all right. It's this last slide anyway. The other one was just a fun thing. So that's all for me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Miss Bonnie.
You are welcome.
Miss Lori's not here, so I'm going to. Oh, I'm there.
I'm looking
So
for
she
you.
already put me on. Okay, thank you, Miss Lori. Okay, it's my turn. So, let me share. Well, okay. My Zoom looks different every day, Miss Lori.
I know Zoom is keeping us on our toes this year.
Yeah.
Keep updating.
Yes, it is. Okay, let's see. There you go. And slideshow. Okay, so just to let you know, Zoom has done something so that you can divide your screen so that it has split screen capability. So you could see the one who's talking and you could see the one that's the thing that's being shared. Because it used to be, well, if you're on your computer anyways. I was able to do that on my laptop today. I read about that last night and I tried it today. So how do we succeed in online school? Because it is online, the number one thing you need to do, you need to have a computer. Of course, you need to come to class with a positive attitude and attitude that's ready for learning, but you need to have a computer to be able to get to class. What should your computer be like? It should have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. You can check that on if you go to your home screen. Oh, let me see if I can close this out. Oh no. Can I do that? You're still seeing my slideshow. And if I minimize that, you're not seeing my entire screen. Okay. Let me see if I can share my entire screen. I'm gonna stop share really quick and reshare and my screen. So now you see at the bottom, there's a search. If you click about, if you go there and type about, you could see your PC settings. Oops, I was too fast. And then if you tap on that one, you'll see about. So now you'll see I have 12.0 gig on my RAM. That's how you see. Because if you have less than 8, you'll be having a hard time being on Zoom and doing your classwork at the same time, because Zoom needs at least 4 gigabytes of RAM to run, and your computer is using some of it. And then when you open Bright Thinker, it will use some of it. So if it's just 4, we had a student before who had only 4, it was hard time online for her. So it's Labor Day weekend. If you're looking for a new computer, because a lot of things are going on sale today, this weekend or starting now and onto Labor Day, at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, okay? And then you must have a working microphone.
Catherine,
Yes, ma'am.
we interrupt for a second while you're telling them to go get a new computer. I don't think we can say it enough. Please don't get a Chromebook. Chromebooks don't work. We do use a download of Chrome. What is that called, Mrs. Elliser?
Which one?
Well, we use Chrome. We have to have Bright Thinker on Chrome, but it's different than a Chromebook.
Chrome is a browser. Chromebook is it's a type of computer that's using a different operating system.
So if you're not,
I just read about a workaround, but I cannot try it because I don't have a Chromebook. So when we get to that part, anybody who has a Chromebook can try something and see if it works and let me know, or we can work on it together and we'll see if it's actually a workaround, because I was looking, reading forums last night to see if there's something that could be done, but okay. I'm not sure because I don't have a Chromebook, and I won't be able to experiment and try it out. Okay, so if everybody's, I think we have some new students. So does everybody know where to find their mute and unmute? Well, find your microphone, wait, and then I want you to unmute yourself. And once you unmute yourself, I want to hear you say good afternoon in the language that you prefer. It could be English, it could be Spanish, it could be Italian or German. Just go for it. I want to hear it, okay? Because that's the beauty of online school. We're all over the place. Okay, find your microphone on your Zoom screen and unmute. Ready, set, go.
Good afternoon.
Magandang hapon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yay! Okay, good job. Now you can mute yourself back up. Okay, so now we tested. You indeed have a working microphone, and if you can hear me, you have your speakers working as well. Another thing that your computer needs to be able to do is to connect to a working printer, and that means you should have ink and sufficient paper. When we started online school with Sycamore, my younger daughter started at 5th grade. My oldest daughter started when she got into first year high school. I printed off a lot of things, but then when we got an iPad, it's a different story. I saved a lot of trees, but if you're very tactile and you learn the best by holding the paper and writing on it, and if your teacher wants you to do it that way, then go ahead and print it off. But I just have to say it's different strokes for different folks, because for me, I will lose my paper. If it's on my iPad, it's there and I can do it and I can work on it. If you put it on paper, I don't even like taking notes on sticky notes because I lose them. I take notes on my phone if I have to remind myself. The sticky notes don't work for me. So if somebody's like that out there, like me, hey, welcome to the club. And then, okay, your computer should have the ability to share your screen and allow others to annotate on it, and it should have the ability to annotate on a shared screen as well. So Chromebooks we've had issues with. I'm gonna discuss about it later, but right now those who can, or iPads, you know what, iPads, there's kind of workaround to allow others to annotate on your screen. Can you all draw me a heart, a smiley face, a star? Let's see. Can you annotate on my screen? I see hearts. Yes, you could put in thank you for all the hearts. And because Zoom is new today, oops, I don't know how to erase all of you. Let me see if I can clear all of you. And make sure you know how to clear yourself, clear what you've done. Before, I had control over, oh, I just found it. It's in a different place and I could, let's see, clear all drawings. I just learned something today. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for showing me that you can annotate. Okay, what about an iPad? An iPad allows a participant to annotate, but you can only annotate, others can only annotate on your screen when you are sharing a portion of your screen. If you share the whole screen, it will not allow annotation. That's so you need, if you're using an iPad and you're doing math and Miss Lori says, show your screen. If you share your full screen, she cannot annotate or anything, okay?
Mrs.
So
Elliser, I'm not seeing your screen. I don't know. I think somehow we've lost your sharing your
Oh,
screen.
you didn't lose your screen here. You can go to the top of you can put your mouse on the top of your screen. For example, if it is a MacBook, there's the meeting and the screen option. You can click on Miss Ellenter's screen. I think you're viewing the meeting.
I still
but
see
it's
my
not,
screen, Miss
I
Lori.
can click on it. I don't see your screen, but I guess if they're seeing it, we're good. Keep going.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
Okay. So, let's watch. I made a little video to kind of help you. It was raw. It was done yesterday, so we'll see. I am currently on Zoom on 2 devices. The one where you see my face and me talking is my computer, and the one where it's just my name is my iPad. Now, how do we share from an iPad and allow others to write or annotate on what we're sharing? The iPad doesn't allow annotation on full screen shares, so we have to do something else. This is the share icon on your iPad. It's right there. And when you tap on it, you'll see several options to share. You see screen, photos, iCloud Drive, website URL, bookmark, or whiteboard. If you share a screen, annotation is not allowed. So we'll have to do something else if you want somebody else to write on your screen. If we are sharing a website, for example, you are on Bright Thinker, you need to open that page that you want to share and go to the address place and you tap and hold and click copy so you can copy the URL. And then now we're going back to our Zoom app, our Zoom screen, and we hit share content. And I'm going to click website URL. Now I tap and hold. Okay, there was an old one there. I tap and hold and paste. And now I can do share. So this is what I wanted to share. It's a piece of music. And I am going to go look at my computer. It is right there. Now let us see if what I do on my computer, if I can annotate on my computer, and if it can be seen on my iPad. Now there used to be a pencil icon that popped up on the side, but it's not showing up. Let's see if it will pop up when I do share to host tools. So when I clicked host tools, that pencil icon showed up. Let me tap on it. Now, for example, I want the student to play these notes together at the same time. I could draw lines there. Now let's see my iPad and see if what I wrote there is reflected on my iPad. There you go. Now you just allowed others to annotate on your screen. I am currently on Zoom on 2 devices. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back to there and go back here. I am currently on. I want to go to the next slide. Okay. Ooh. Did I lose my thing for my Chromebook? Hold on. We are gonna see if it comes out after this. So if you are doing your iPad, there's in the new update, there's an issue. If you noticed while I was doing the recording, what I annotated on the computer disappeared all of a sudden, but it was still reflected on the iPad. They're still trying to find how to fix that. So I don't have fix for that. So teachers, if you're the one annotating, it might disappear from your screen, but they will see it on their screen. So there's changes every time. So we'll see. Hopefully it kind of stabilizes before the school year starts and it'll be a smoother flow. So what should your computer be? It should have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. It should have a webcam, a microphone, a speaker, access to a printer, and can annotate and allow others to annotate. What about Chromebooks? So on my orientation yesterday and the previous years, I always said avoid Chromebooks or computer that do not meet or cannot do the 6 things previously discussed. I was saying earlier, there's a possible workaround. I cannot try it because I don't have a Chromebook, but they say the 2019 Chromebooks and newer have the Google Play Store icon on the app somewhere. You need to have a Google Play Store icon. If not, then you can enable it from your Chromebook. And once you enable the Google Play Store icon, download the Zoom for Android app from the Google Play Store. And then you join your class through the app. And they say you can annotate and you can allow others to annotate on your screen. But that's just what I read on the forum. I have no way to check if it works or not because I do not have a Chromebook. If anybody who has a Chromebook wants to work with me and we could check it out, hey, yeah, I'm willing to see if we could make that work. So everything works because Zoom was saying for the longest time they will support a Chromebook and make things for Chromebook, but it has never happened. But I think they have done something, but I'm not sure. So that's why it's a question mark. Okay. Our main place for our lessons would be Sycamore Academy, the Bright Thinker. Okay, not our Sycamore homepage. Our Sycamore homepage has our forms and our calendar, but our classes will be on Bright Thinker. The office will be sending an email for your login information. If you're a returning student, you probably have the same login information as the previous year. But if you're new, you have to wait and look for that email with your login information. If you don't have it yet, make sure to connect with Miss Lori so you can get your login information. When you get your login information and log in into your Bright Thinker, you will see your classes. And you click on a class to get to your landing page. So on your landing page, at the very beginning should be a Zoom link for your Zoom room, okay, where your teacher is going to be teaching the class. I have 3 links there. One is a tiny URL, one is I named it, and one that has my meeting ID number. I even put my meeting ID there, so if just in case your computer is not working and you need to call in so you can listen to class, you can put in that meeting ID number right there. I have my contact information here. So that will be in your landing page. Somewhere in the landing page, I think as you scroll down, you will see this thing. For extra tutoring support and general help, please join Ms. Lori's study hall room. And she's given the tiny URL and her link here as well with her meeting. Those numbers are meeting ID numbers. So if your computer asks for a meeting ID, that's the number that you will use. The next one, when you click on your class, you can also see what activities you need to complete.
Okay.
Okay, there's a new thing that's going on. It used to be, okay, so Bright Thinker is also updating. It used to be when you click on a class, just like Miss Bonnie said, when you open it up, it will already show a check mark. Even if you didn't submit anything, it will show a check mark. But last night, they made an update, and when you open something and you didn't submit anything, it will say continue working. I don't know what version will be on your computer. It can be this newer version or the older version, but to make sure, okay, that you can monitor your progress, you go to this bar graph right here, because that will lead you to grades. And there are 2 other ways to get to grades. You can play around on the website and find those 2 other ways. But for now, I'm only talking about that bar graph right there on your landing page. When you get to your landing page, you'll see the activities that you need to do, right? And I talked about the check. There could either be a check or no check. But when you get to grades and click on that bar graph, you will see this. You on the status column, if your submission went through, you should see a paper with a dog ear. Okay? If you submitted something and you do not see a paper with the dog ear right here on your grades and your status column, that means your submission didn't go through. And my kids were telling me, Mommy, you always tell the story, because my daughter, the first time we joined Sycamore, finished a 5-paragraph essay. She typed everything on Bright Thinker. And when she clicked submit, the computer blinked and all her hard work went away. And she was in tears. So anything you submit on Bright Thinker, you should have a backup copy. You should have the original copy of that one. So if something happens while it's transmitting and it doesn't go through, you can just resubmit easily. You don't have to do everything all over again. About keeping papers, when I was in college, there was a time, it was a time when they posted everybody's grades in the bulletin board. I was doing chemistry, and I was actually doing organic chemistry. So there it was, my grade on the bulletin board, and it was a C. Oh, my heart, I was so sad. Why did I get a C? I didn't believe I could. I thought I did better than a C. So I talked to my teacher. I told my teacher, may I know the reason why I got a C? And she said, you didn't submit this, you didn't submit this, you didn't submit this, you didn't submit this. And I go, oh, but you checked those and returned the paper to me. And she said, can you show me the paper?
I'll get stomach aches. It's all because of the tainted barley.
And she showed me I showed her the paper, and my grade went up. I got an A. Yay! I got an A-. Yay! So like what Miss Bonnie was saying, what's important is you do your best. It can be an A, it can be an A-, it can be a C, but the important thing is the effort you put into it. Okay? Because we're all made different. As long as you do your best and that's your best result, we love that. That's why I keep telling my kids. Okay, so if once your submission is graded, you'll see a check mark and you'll have a score. If you have a chasing arrow like that, that means you were given a redo and you need to redo your work. If there's this chat box, your teacher wrote you a message and you can click on it and check what the message is all about. Usually in chemistry, and when I'm teaching it, or in music, when I type there, read it, because oftentimes say good job, but sometimes I spell out what you need to improve on. So don't disregard that comment thing. Look at it. Okay, I am done, because this is Zoom meetings and etiquette. That's Miss Bonnie's. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm ready to entertain questions or comments. No questions? Who has a Chromebook? I have a question. Who has a Chromebook?
Aiden Gakey does.
Aiden Gakey. Aiden Gakey.
Aiden Gakey? You wanna stay over and work with me, and let's see if we can do that workaround they saying?
I have a computer, but my mom hasn't set it up yet.
Oh, okay. So you have a computer already, but you're on a Chromebook right now?
Yes, for orientation, because she hasn't set it up, even though I keep telling her to.
Oh, okay.
We just bought it like a week ago.
Okay. So I'm not gonna confuse you with the Chromebook. You work on your computer.
Yeah.
Isaac has one.
Isaac. Isaac who?
Sandoval.
Isaac Sandoval?
Not here.
Yay. Yes, if you want to work with me, so I'm looking for volunteers because I want to see if it works.
If
So
anybody
Miss
from.
Susanna, you have your hand raised?
I have a Chromebook.
Oh, you have a Chromebook too. Yay! Who can okay. If you could stay a little bit after our orientation. Those of you who have Chromebook, let's see if it'll work.
Okay.
Because I'm excited to know if it'll work.
And then I'm gone. Okay. No more questions? Any more questions for Mrs. Elliser?
Go play with the baby. Oh my goodness, dude. How long are you going this time?
Any more questions? No. Okay.
Or you by yourself?
All right.
He is going, but I'm.
Okay, so getting back to study hall, I think Mrs. Elliser pretty much covered everything. However, this room is a study hall all year long. So if you need help, if you have any questions, you can come in here. We've tried to add the link to my room at the bottom or somewhere in the landing page. So if you need to get in here, if you've been sent an email with my room, if you save it, this room should work all year long. So you're welcome to come in here. We have tutors in here. If you've been absent and you need help catching up, come to study hall. Somebody even told me last week, they said, when you said that when I first came here, that kids come in here and hang out, or that I'd need study hall, I thought, no way. And here I am coming in here to hang out. So there are a lot of students that do come in here and hang out, or they'll just say, would you please put me in a breakout room by myself so I can study? Because they feel like when they're in here, they are going to study more. So study hall is available.
Oh, Miss Lori, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Or if you cannot go, if somehow the link to your teacher's room isn't working, or you can't find your teacher, go to Miss Lori. Ask her. She'll help you get to the right class.
There you go. Yes. And remember this, on Tuesday when school begins, things are going to go wrong. Your electricity may go off. Your Wi-Fi can go down. We are not going to panic. Okay? Teachers, it could go off for them too. Things are going to happen. And we're just going to rest and relax and try to get to our next class, and we're not going to worry. If you're stressing out, come to my study hall. Hopefully mine will work all day Tuesday and there won't be any glitches. But if things can go wrong, it will. Your classes may be wrong in Bright Thinker. We're trying to get everybody added, try to get all your classes correct, but they could be wrong. If they're wrong, don't panic. It's not going to hurt you, even if you've missed it. Come into the study hall. We'll figure out what the problem is and regroup. Okay? So hopefully, and by the way, if you do get your login to Bright Thinker and you look at it and you go, oh, I already know things are wrong, I will be here all day tomorrow. So you can come by and we can try to get things straightened out tomorrow. And if not, we have next week. So no stressing about that. Again, once you log into Bright Thinker, you should be able to get to all of your classes. So Bright Thinker is your link to getting to the Zooms, right? Also remember on Bright Thinker, all of the times are in Central Time. We have to have a universal language, and since I'm in Central Time, I get to choose, and I chose Central. So Central Time is the universal language. You have to change it to your time zone. Okay? It's up to you to get involved. There are lots of ways to get involved at Sycamore. The students put together a yearbook every year. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out. We have a student association who puts together all kinds of things for you. They have a week of spiritual emphasis. We usually have 2 spirit weeks where they do things like pajama day or bring your pet to school day, all kinds of things. You can get involved. We also have class officers, and you are in high school. So now is the time to get involved. And the more involved you are, the better it's going to look when you go to college. They're looking for involved students. The essay also, we also had an ethnicity day last year. So yearbook, do a class officer, get involved in the student association, be a part of the newsletter. There's also several clubs that are going on. You can get involved. You will get to know others. It's amazing to me that we're on the screen. Actually, for the first time this summer, I actually got to see Mrs. Elliser and Eliana in real life. So some of you I actually got to see at Gillette. And it's always fun when we can see you in real life, but I loved them before I saw them, even on Zoom. So it works. Okay, the other thing that I want to cover is your eyes. Because we are in an online environment, computers are here to stay probably, and you can take care of your eyes. So remember, there's a 2020, we'll maybe send out an email to give you reminders about this 20-20-20 rule. After 20 minutes, look at least 20 feet away and give your eyes 20 seconds of rest. And one of the best ways of doing that is to close your eyes and hold them tight for 20 seconds and then open them, and it is relieving. Look to the left and to the right. Keep your face still and look as far left as you can and as far right as you can, and do that 10 times. And then look up as far as you can and look down as far as you can, and do that 10 times. And then probably my favorite one is called palming, and you cover your eyes so it's totally dark inside and hold that up to your eyes, and it's just very relieving when you've been looking at a screen all day long. So take care of your eyes. And then probably the most important thing is when you're out of school, get off the computer. Get outside, look at the stars at night, use your long distance vision, get out there and run and get active. So we are going to be working on a computer, but you have time later to get outside and use your long distance vision. Okay. I don't think is Mrs. Miranda here by any chance? Has she come in? I know y'all have been letting people in. No, she's not here. Okay, Mrs. Miranda was going to meet with you. I'm assuming now, since she's not here, she'll just meet with everybody in next week in your classes. Oh, I did want to say one thing. If Mrs. Elliser gets up and she is not feeling well and she goes, I can't teach my classes today, we typically try to send out an email, but the best place for you to look is to go to that landing page. So you would click on the class that you're taking from that teacher, and at the very top, we will put, Mrs. Elliser is not going to be teaching today. She wants you to do lesson 2, no class. Okay, so that's usually where you will find it. We may send an email. If you're ever in question, come to study hall. Okay. So any important announcements like that that might be happening, we will put it up there. If you are sick or if you are going on a week-long vacation, let us know. We'll work with you to get you caught up before you leave and catch you up after. Okay? Just let us know in the office. We'll also let the teachers know.
There's
Okay?
a question in the chat. What about restroom breaks?
Yeah, you can take restroom breaks. Let the teacher know I'm going to be gone for a few minutes, and you can turn your camera off and come back. Oh, that's another thing. Yes. Our classes, we are trying to run a good, strong program, and your classes are 45 minutes long. Last year, it was so difficult getting all of these classes in. I said, I think we're going to have to put in Fridays. And all of the kids 100% said, no, we'll work harder Monday to Thursday. We do not want class on Friday. So The classes are back to back. However, it is nothing more than a click of a button. Teachers usually try to let you out on time. So you want to be, Mrs. Velez said, let's be early for the first class. After that, you just want to be ready to click on that button and get to the next class. And you will want to take a few breaks. You'll want to go grab some water, keep your water in an enclosed container so it doesn't spill on your computer. And sometimes you'll need to take a bathroom break. So take that break. Okay. Any other questions?
Is Bright Thinker, it's a website, it's not an app?
It is not an app. It's our, what's it called? Learning platform.
It is a web.
So it's a
It is a website.
Yeah, it's a website.
Yeah, it's like an LMS.
Thank
Learning
you.
management system.
That's it.
Miss Miranda is here, by the way.
Oh, good. Okay. Yes. So, yes, and you will get a letter, sign into Bright Thinker. It will usually remember you if you hit remember me, and then every time your child signs on, I think you just type in sycamore.the.bright and it usually fills it in and you're good to go. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. Last year, I was a little late when joining into Sycamore because some friends had some issues that was almost to death. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but that was why I was late coming into the school year last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were jumped surprised by a sudden science fair that should have been spoken about at the beginning of the school year, long before I joined in. Is such a thing happening this year? And if so, speak now and not when it's time for it to happen.
Mrs. Bonnie, are we going to have a science fair? Were you going to do something?
Not this year.
Not this,
Not this year.
No science fair, Othniel. No science.
Any other projects worth mentioning now?
So there'll be more. There'll be projects. Don't worry about them. You'll learn about them as they happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Mrs. Miranda, are you ready to do your?
Miss Lori, can you put me in a breakout room with the other Chromebook users, please?
Yes. Let me. Who's going to be Chromebook users?
Susanna, Isaac Sandoval. Who else said they had a Chromebook?
I'll put you all in room 6.
Aiden did. He said he had a Chromebook, although
he's not going to be using one.
I might do it because if my computer isn't working, I can always use my Chromebook.
Oh, okay. Not my iPad. Can you put me too, Miss Lori? It's only my iPad that went there. Okay, I'm there going now. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.
Okay, and then I think I'm going to Miss Eden. Should I just leave everybody in here or should I put all the students in a breakout room?
Whatever you think. Oh, well, you didn't want it to be live streamed.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well,
Ariana has a Chromebook.
I'm going to turn the live stream off. Let me just turn the live stream off.